guys, 4 months on YouTube. Today I'm going to share everything like I usually do. Past week has been going up. The numbers are going back up. So I told you I don't stress about the numbers because they fluctuate up and down. So I'll be talking about the numbers today, and I'm going to talk about affiliates. I'm finally getting some Amazon affiliate money, so that's exciting. And I did a podcast. So lots of things that happened this week. If you're interested in learning about what the journey is like to becoming a full-time content creator on YouTube, I'm in the thick of it, and I'm sharing all behind the scenes. So stick around if that sounds good to you. Hey guys, Saarenoja here. Welcome to my channel where I help new YouTubers grow on YouTube. Okay, so much happened this week. I feel like it was a very busy, stressful week with regards to YouTube. I posted my normal 3 videos this week. I went deep into my woo-woo this week. I revealed my woo-woo, and it was successful. Honestly, I don't know if it was the woo-woo that helped my channel have the numbers go back up again, or if it's also this other theory that I'm testing. Right now I'm testing shorts theory that I learned, and I want to test it, a few more weeks to see if it's worthwhile, worth your time. But basically I'll tell you the gist of it, just so you want to know, a sneak peek. I'm taking clips from my most successful videos and then sharing those as my shorts. And so it's no extra work, really. I'm using, I didn't use Opus Clips, but I used Video, V-I-D-Y-O, Video, maybe is how they want to say it, Video AI. I'll talk more about that once I've tested it more, but that's basically what I'm doing. The biggest thing this week for me was I did a podcast interview. So that was really exciting. I've never done one. The one thing I learned is I am such a bad salesperson. I know that is one of the skills I need to work on. I have always needed to work on that skill. So I didn't think ahead when I went into the podcast about how I would plug in things like that I could help people with, or that why they should come to my channel, or, services I offer. I didn't talk about any services I offered or anything. I didn't talk about anything like that. Luckily, the interviewer had researched me, and at the end, she plugged some of my stuff for me. So that was definitely a big learning experience. And she was actually talking to me about something called a one sheet. One sheet is basically something that you send over to the interviewer as an interviewee, and you say it has a headshot photo of you, it has a little bio about you, like what you're about, and then it has recommended topics to talk about, like things you know about, so topics you're knowledgeable in, and then suggested questions, you could put that in there as well, and then all of your contact info like Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, whatever, you have all those links there, and any links you want to share with the person, like links to, like for me, I could have had a link to my checklist. I could have had a link to my consulting calendar, all these great things that I did not do. Live and learn. But see, this is the great thing. And I did it. Like, I'm proud I did it. After I finished the interview, I was like, oh man, she's got some good editing work cut out for her. Because I tend to ramble. Like, I'm a rambler. And, I was just like, oh God, did I even make any points that made sense? It all was kind of a blur, and it just felt like I was just kind of, I don't know. I haven't rehearsed anything. So it felt very off the cuff, which I think is good because it's authentic, but I think, a little bit of rehearsal of some main points would have been helpful. So I'm telling you guys this because I think it's really valuable to know that. And I want to tell you why I chose this podcast. So I chose this podcast because first she contacted me, and it was called Midlife and Beyond. So it was related to my audience. It was midlifers, and older, like baby boomers, Gen X. I thought, perfect, that is my audience. And her channel has very few subscribers. So she's starting to build this podcast. And I saw one woman on that podcast list the podcast video she had that I recognized from Instagram. So I was like, well, she's had one really good guest on there. Most of her videos were getting low views though. Most people would be like my husband, don't waste your time. Oh, I just have to laugh. We're so different. Don't waste your time. Hold out. Wait for the better ones, But in my mind, I'm like, I have no effing clue what I'm doing when it comes to a podcast interview, right? So of course I want to go with the smaller channel. It's less intimidating. I don't want to be like a deer in headlights, and I don't want to do my first podcast interview with someone that's huge because it would just, like, this one went bad in my mind. So I don't want to do that on a big one, right? So anyway, I did it, and I think my my plan is working well, because it did allow me to learn a lot. And also, I did not know anything about this one sheet. I didn't research being on a podcast interview before doing it because I'm so busy just getting my videos out every week, doing my consulting calls. I didn't have a chance. And I did listen to a few of her podcasts, so I knew kind of her style. And when I saw her style right away, I was like, oh, she's chill. She's not like an intense interviewer. So that right away made me feel comfortable. And she was, when we first got on just to talk about the process too as well. When she contacted me, she's like, do you want to do a podcast? And I was like, sure, sounds good. And then she sent back, okay, here's a link to my Calendly. I don't know if it was Calendly, but I think it was Calendly. Once we set up the time, then she sent over this document that said, please read through all this information before our podcast interview. And it was basically saying like her rules and regulations. And by signing up, you commit to this, you allow me to put your stuff out to the world and know that it's my ownership. And I edit it how I want to edit it. You can have say if you want to, but I can't promise that I'll be able to edit out anything in particular. But if you put in the request soon enough, I can. Like basically she was saying, I'll work with you if you think you said something you don't want anyone to know or something like that. And then she just asked that I send over a bio, headshot, and then I sent over a link to my YouTube channel and my book. Then we have the podcast interview. She did it through Zoom, and nothing fancy. It was very casual about it. It was like no stress. So that was nice. And we just had a chat before we started. I got to know her a little bit, and we talked about what things we could talk about and if it was okay to ask me about my job that I lost and all of those things. So that was good. And then we started the podcast. She put on the screen, kind of, record the screen on Zoom, and then we started. She asked me some questions and went through it. And I will share a link to the podcast below. And actually, when I watched it back, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So, it's with all these things, right, you guys? We think like, oh my God, that was awful. I did so bad. And then when she sent it back to me and she's like, it's live now. I was like, gosh, I don't want to watch it, because I've told you guys before, I never watch any of my videos again. Like I put them out there and then I just forget about them. I don't go back and watch them, except when I make them into clips, then I see the clips of those, but I never go back and watch them. I think if I did, I would stop immediately. So I don't do that. So yeah, anyway, she sent it to me and I watched it, and because I wanted to be able to talk about it with you guys and share the link. And if I was going to share the link, I wanted to know what I was sharing. And so I watched it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I could have said a lot more, of course. We could always do better in hindsight, yes. But for my first podcast, I'm proud. I didn't fumble and fall. I would say the biggest fumble for me was actually not a fumble at all. It was just a learning experience. Like now I learned how to be more prepared for a podcast interview. So it was a really great experience overall. And I would definitely say if any podcast contacts you in the beginning of building your channel, just go for it. Because even though she has small subscribers, the reason I went on it was, one, I want to support someone that's following me. Two, I believe in what she's doing, midlife and beyond. It's a topic that is important to me and it's important to my viewers. So I was like, yes, I think it's an important topic. And I'm in that genre. My audience is that genre, so it does relate. It's not like she's an equestrian woman talking about horses and she wants me on her podcast. It's in the realm of what I'm doing. So I think it was very relevant to what I'm doing. And and just for the experience overall. So that's why I think, I'm not in the same boat with my husband, whereas he's always like, hold out for better. I know he's trying to protect me and he doesn't want me wasting my time, and he knows my time is valuable and all of those things. And I'm in the position of, I want to learn as much as possible, as quickly as possible. And if I don't jump in on these smaller channels and learn from these experiences, I won't get as far as fast as I could. I know in the beginning, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of stuff, lower pay in the beginning, because that's where you have to start somewhere, right? And I'm not going to be too proud to do something, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm too good for that. I've been an architect for 15 years. I can't possibly do that. No, that's not me at all. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, that was the other thing. I got my first sponsorship product in the mail, and I haven't signed a contract with them or anything yet. So they sent me an email. They're like, hey, if you want, we'll send you this product. It's for focus and, energizing you. So it's, I'm going to show it to you, but I'm going to hide the thing because they didn't want me talking about it to you guys. I made the mistake of asking them, hey, by the way, I share everything with my viewers. Can I share this experience of you sending me the product? And they're like, no. We would rather it be natural. And I was like, isn't that more natural that I share with them the process and then I talk about your product? So yeah, in the future, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to do it. So, but to respect the fact that I asked them and they said, no, I'm going to not share their name with this. But so it is a little shot glass of green drink. So my husband's like, do you know anything about them? I'm shocked that you're going to take that because he knows I'm anti-medication, anti like anything unnatural. And I'm like, no, it's got maca, it's got agave, it's got nootropics, it's got vitamins. And he's like, Oh, this adventure is so fun with him. But yeah, I do mean that seriously. He's always out there protecting me, my little Viking, or big Viking, I should say, not little by any means. So yeah, so I got my first product sponsor in the mail, but I'm going to test it for however many days, 24 days, and see if I like it. And then if I like it, I'm going to fill out, they already sent me a form to fill out to, make the contract for real. But what they're going to do is they're going to pay me for a 60-second natural speaking about their product on my channel. And then I have to do a 60-second one video and then another 40-second in the following video in a way that talks about, mental clarity I experienced, the energy, the boost and all that. If it works for me. If it doesn't work for me, I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to even go down the contract route. I'll just drink the drinks and be like, oh, that was fun. Because that is something I really struggle with right now. I'm really struggling with energy levels and I wake up very tired and I really could use, like, caffeine isn't doing anything for me anymore. I've totally worn out caffeine. I feel like caffeine is just now a habit and I also want to kind of drop that habit because I don't even like coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. I think it's disgusting. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. It tastes like dirt. So I don't know why I drink it. Like my coffee is usually like 3/4 something like oat milk. And then, a quarter of the cup is actual coffee. So it's pointless. But anyway, so yeah, it doesn't affect me. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it right now with you guys watching. I hope it tastes okay. And then we'll see. And also, if I die, you'll know that it was this, and maybe someone will recognize this tiny little logo here. It's not their logo because their logo's on the other side, but oh gosh, here we go. It smells kind of sweet. Oh, the one thing with this that I don't like is actually that it has agave in it. I don't mind agave sweetener, but I don't eat sweets. I don't eat sugar. So this is going to be interesting. It's probably going to give me a sugar high, but we'll see. Okay. It's not bad, actually. Actually, it's not bad at all. I'm surprised because I've read on some reviews online that it's very bitter. But maybe because I don't eat sugar. That might be why it tastes so sweet to me. Now it's done. Okay, the last part was a little bitter. Ugh. Whew. Okay, let's go. So that was my shot and my sponsorship, or soon to be sponsorship, maybe, if this works. So I mentioned last week that I need to double the amount of consultation calls I have in order to get to the income level that I want to get to. And I've been thinking about brainstorming different ways to make money. So everything is starting to pick up. Like my affiliates on Amazon is starting. So it's not like I'm making millions of dollars on Amazon affiliates or on any of my affiliate links yet. There is income starting to come in, and that's cool. I'm starting to see it like increasing or just starting, period, which is great. I was thinking like, okay, how can I make more money? I love consulting. I must say, I really love consulting because I really like getting to know you all one-on-one, and I'm learning a lot about what you need through those consulting calls. So I'm learning, you're learning. It's a win-win. I love it. But so here's the thing. I need to make 4,000 euros a month to pay my half of what we need to survive in this household. So that would be pre-tax income that I would need to make in order to survive in this household. Anything beyond that would be better because it would be, then I could start saving again and invest in things and stuff like that. But to get to 4,000 a month for me, for my income level, would pay all the bills that I need to pay. We split bills half and half. Viking's paying everything right now, basically, except I'm starting to pay groceries and gas with what I'm making here. So I need to double what I made last month, basically, because I made, I think, 1,800 last month, and that was pre-tax. And the way to do that would be to double the amount of consultation calls. So I'm average about 6 a week. I need to make 12 a week, right? And stupid me was like, oh yeah, that's great. That's what I need to do. But I didn't do anything about it, right? So now I'm like, okay, well, I actually need to like start promoting my consultation because I'm averaging about 6 a week without any advertising, right? People are finding it in the description. So my plan this week is to create a little like insert for my videos, interrupts the video and is like, hey, if you're enjoying this content and you're a new YouTuber and you want to grow your channel, definitely reach out to me. I offer consulting calls, or I offer coaching calls, or whatever sounds more friendly. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is it consulting or coaching? And I think that will help to, double down the amount of time I'm spending consulting. So that will increase, hopefully, by mentioning it, obviously. Like so many times in all the courses I've watched, people are like complaining about not getting subscribers, and my coaches or my teachers or my trainers are all like, have you asked for subscribers on your videos? And they're like, no. So it's like, we really need to ask for these things. We need to I need to put an insert video and say, hey, do this if you want this, or like, hey, click on the button, that sort of thing. So it's really important to ask for these things, because you yourself will know you have watched many videos that were really good, that you really got a lot of value out of them, and you didn't even click like, you didn't subscribe because you just didn't think about it. You were thinking about the content they were presenting, and you're like, oh yeah, great idea. Goes to the next video of someone else. So in the videos, it's really important for people to say, hey, subscribe now, or put up a little animated subscribe thing that's like a bing, reminds them to subscribe. So I'm going to now start asking for consulting calls. And the other thing that I'm thinking about too, as if you saw in my community tab, I asked you guys, would you rather I do a membership on YouTube, a Patreon account, or Skool account? For me right now, I'm leaning towards Skool, because this is why I think it is such a good opportunity. But I'm going to break down all of the options later. I've been analyzing them all, like the prices, the amount they take from you. Skool is expensive. It's $100 a month. So it's $100 basically, you have to invest in it. So that's very scary for someone like me who isn't making that much money right now. I'm like counting my pennies right now. So that seems very scary. But the opportunity there seems better, and the platform seems better for what I want to do. I like the idea of like being able to create like my own mini school, because I am a teacher by nature. I have so many videos that I want to put out there for you guys that are just like quick videos. I want to stick to my schedule of 3 videos a week. I don't want to add more because I feel like that might mess up with the algorithm and, whatever. So I feel like Skool is a great place for that, because I can share a lot of videos, and I can have a library. And the thing I like about it is it creates a community. Like people can talk to each other that are within your Skool membership area. They can talk to each other. So you guys could make connections. You could help each other. You could learn from each other. You could collaborate with each other. So I really like the idea of Skool. But yeah, I'll do a whole video on why I'm choosing what I'm choosing, and go through Skool versus YouTube memberships versus Patreon. But I'll talk about all that in that video. Anyway, let's get into my computer now. I really thought this was going to be a short one this week, but it's not going to be. Okay, so here we are in the usual sheet. We are in week 16, so this marks 4 months on YouTube, which is exciting. This week, everything was up, so I'm really excited about that, you guys. And I told you I don't stress about the numbers, because this is what happens. They go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, and I don't really stress. Compared to last week, I have gained about 300 subscribers I gained this week. Last week was 152, so I doubled basically last week, so it's going back up again. I went from 11,000 views to 16,000 views, almost 17,000. Watch time hours, I went from 849, I jumped up to 1644, so basically a double. And then average view duration jumped back up to 545 from 430. Click-through rate was 3.9 last week, now it's 4.5, so it's almost at the highest it's been for me, which is 4.6. So it's going back up again, you guys. Impressions, 183 last week, 183,000, 250,000 this week. Estimated revenue was $71 last week and $106 this week. RPM, this is how much I get paid per 1,000 views, was $725 for long videos this week. Last week was $781. So things are looking positive. If I go to the my income sheet, here you can see that last week I had, I think it was 4 consulting calls. So two people didn't pay in advance. Their payment didn't go through, so I canceled the meetings. I had 4 paying calls this week, and that equaled $300. And I made $106 this past week on YouTube. 38 cents came from shorts. I made 14 cents so far with vidIQ. Last month I made $29. Sean Cannell, still no income from that. I'm really curious when that is going to happen, because it has been a month since someone paid. So I'm going to go in and I need to research like how that process works a little bit more. ScreenPal, it said in there that I actually had $10.80 of tracked but unapproved income. So I'm not sure what that means. So I just put 0 for now because it's not approved yet. So once it's approved, then I will put it in here. So I think I've made about $10 so far this month, which is great. And then Amazon affiliates. This is really exciting. So I had someone purchase 2 things. So whoever you are, thank you. And it was a Seagate, the Seagate drive. So someone purchased the Seagate drive. What's nice about Amazon affiliates is you can see what they buy and how much of a percentage you get from it. And this 122 that I put here on the side is how much they spent. And this is the percentage that I got from that. So that's what you can, so that give you an idea of how much money you make per how much someone sells. So this is basically a little less than 3% of what they bought is what I'm getting with my Amazon affiliates. So that was exciting though. I was really excited about that. So that it does work and I can make money there. And I think, again, that's something else that I would need to promote to have this increase. Like right now, I'm not really promoting it. I think I just mentioned it in one of these weekly review calls. So all of this stuff that I'm doing, I'm just trying to get it implemented, like just getting it implemented is a process. So once it's implemented, then I think I can finally start talking about it more like, hey, interested, link in the description below, click on it, blah, blah, blah. And then here, I haven't really paid any fees yet this month, except video ranking. I always pay 100 and PayPal fees is 10 euros. And that is about 3% as well, from 300. So it's between 3 and 4%. But that's what this month looks like so far. And right now it's on track with last month. So if you multiply 300 by 4, you basically get 1,200. So consulting is still on track with last month. And I don't want it to be. I want to double it. So now, like I said, I'm going to implement a video in my videos. Hey, meet with me and this is how you can do it. So that's, I think, is important because right now I'm on track to be doing the same and I don't want to do the same. I want to do better. So that is why I'm doing that. Okay, so here it is all again, 16,000 views, 1,700 watch time hours this past week, 305 subscribers, estimated revenue 106. Oh, I do want to show you the top content. So what I love about this is that this video, Leave No Man's Land, was the one where I was most vulnerable that I've ever been, I would say, on YouTube. I've been vulnerable, like showing myself sweaty and walking and talking about things and rambling, not looking my best. So I've showed that. Vulnerability, appearance, and just speaking your passion. But this one was, about my woo-woo side. And that is something I have, I don't talk about with anyone. So that was a really big vulnerability thing for me to share. And it was so well accepted. And, it's 2,700 views so far. And 3 videos per week. This one was also did really well. So the videos this week did quite well. So I just wanted to say that you can come back to life and now it's starting to pick up again. So I do feel like YouTube is a bit cyclical, but I also feel like it was related to a lot was happening once my kids went back to school. So I just wasn't top of my game. And now I feel like I've gotten into the groove. I'm taking my potion, my secret potion now, and let's see how September does. So I took all of these shorts from this video and this video. These videos are the top performance on my channel. Normally, this is just for this week showing these are just numbers for this week. But if we do the last, let's do 90 days. These are my top performers. So I've taken from this one and this one. So I should take now from this one some shorts and put those out there. But so I'm using the shorts from my top performers to try to get my channel more energized, and it seems to be working. So it is a tactic I learned and I'm implementing it right now and seeing if it works. And if it does, then I will of course do a very detailed video on it. I did 4 shorts and 3 videos. I'm trying to do 3 shorts a week in addition to my 3 videos a week. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, I also have tested out TikTok. I put 3 shorts on TikTok and I've had 500 views on TikTok on each of those videos and no new subscribers, but I've had likes. So I don't know, TikTok is not really my platform, but I thought I would just try it. Since I'm making these shorts anyway, I know these shorts aren't the type of shorts that people would watch on TikTok. So I know I'm not working it for the TikTok angle at all. And I need to, but whatever. And then you can also see everything that I talked about here: 250,000, 11,000, 1,000, click-through rate 4.5%, 642 average view duration, viewers across formats. You can see that videos and watching both and shorts only is a very small percentage of my subscribers, or very small percentage of those viewing my channel. How viewers find you: browse feature is 66%, channel page 8.7, suggested video 5.7, shorts feed 4.9. I've had 2 total remixes this past week. We can look at revenue as well, actually. Let's look at revenue. And you can see that I posted this video on Tuesday. September. Where is my Monday video? Okay, well, I did post a video here on Monday, so I'm not sure why it's not showing it. It was this video that was posted September 2nd, so I'm not sure why it's not showing up there. Okay, but anyway, it does exist. That day I made around 13, 28, 23, 15, 11, and 867. So it seems to be, even though everything's starting to increase again, it's still lower than average for me. Around 20 is my average. So these are quite low days, I feel like, or not quite low. I mean, I haven't only been monetized for like 5 weeks, so I can't really have enough data to really say, but I think my average is around $20 a day would be so far, but seems to be decreasing lately. 105 estimated revenue, and then shorts feed 38 cents, supers 0. And I think that's all you guys want to see. So if you have any questions, let me know. Any comments you have, put them down in the comments below. I will answer them as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you in the next video.